Hey, what's up YouTube? Alex here, and I'm back to rattle off another thread response. This is a response for dvdude30's Royal Thread, which he put up like a week or two ago now. I can't quite remember, but yeah, he put this up, and I really enjoyed the questions, so I wanted to reply to it. But first of all, I must first say, PJ Harvey is queen of all, and Conrad her royal subject. And and with that, I'll move on to the first question of this great thread, which was name one group or artist you would be able to automatically identify. I'm going to be quite kind of cliche here, guys, and I'm going to go with Dylan as one of my choices. I know he said one group or artist, but I'm going to give two. And the first one I'm picking, yeah, it's got to be Bob Dylan. Hold on a minute, I didn't show you guys what's playing in the background. I thought this kind of fitted this video quite well, because I know dvdude's a huge PJ Harvey fan, and add that to the fact that this is one of the best records of the year so far, without a shadow of a doubt. So yeah, that's playing in the background. So I'll get back to the first question, and yeah, I'm picking Bob Dylan. And I think I had to pick him because over the last 2 years since I really started getting into his music, I've just heard literally thousands of songs by him, and it's almost become kind of second nature to me. Hearing Bob Dylan's voice. I can't think of a day in the last 2 or 3 months where I haven't heard at least one Dylan song, in the day. There'll be times where I listen to like 4 or 5 of his albums, in succession. There'll be other times where I just listen to 1 or 2 songs, every day. But rarely does a day pass where, I won't listen to any Dylan. It's a very consistent feature, I guess, of my days. So, for that reason, I just had to pick him. Hold on 1 second, I'm just going to turn this down. So yeah, that's Bob Dylan, and the second guy that was kind of floating around in my mind also was John Lennon. Again, a very, very obvious choice, I know, but another voice that is just so distinct. I could pretty much pick out. If I heard John Lennon's voice, it would take me maybe 2 seconds, and I'd automatically, something would click, and I would know, that it was John Lennon. He just got that very distinct voice that seems to just go straight through me every time I hear it, and yeah, just in my opinion, one of the best male vocalists, certainly of the 20th century. So John Lennon would be another one, and also his voice didn't really seem to change too much, which is another thing. People like Bob Dylan, which I mentioned, Dylan's voice changed dramatically, throughout his career. From the very start, he went through so many phases with so many different voices. That it might be hard for some people to identify, each one of those voices, but with John Lennon, it's very, very. I see it as, he kept a very, very consistent voice right from the start to when he tragically died. So that's another thing that's obviously makes it quite easy to identify. He's got a very distinct voice, and it stayed, pretty similar, and consistent throughout his releases. So yeah, those are the two I picked. Yeah, very, very obvious, but I couldn't answer that question without mentioning Dylan. So. Yeah, that's question one. Question two was what technical aspect of vinyl do you enjoy? Difficult question for me. I mean, I'm not, if I'm being brutally honest, I'm not huge on the whole technical aspect of vinyl just yet. I've mentioned so many times that I'm very new to this kind of form of music. Just since February I started collecting records, and ever since then just trying to expand my knowledge on different kinds of music. I haven't really focused too much on the technical aspect of things. But that being said, you know, I've always been someone that's been interested in technology and things like that, so I can definitely see myself, you know, in the future, you know, really getting engrossed in the technical aspect of records and of turntables and of, you know, everything, really. Well, sorry, just moved the camera there. Sorry, just getting it back in line. Yeah, so... yeah, technical aspects I'm not very big on at the moment, but definitely, you know, prior to buying my next turntable, which should be very soon. I mean the turntable I have behind me here is a very, very standard entry level table, I would say. There's really nothing too special about it. The whole system, the system you see behind me that came with the turntable. All of that came to just £25. I got the best bargain ever on that stuff. But I can really, you know, see now that it's starting to get me down a little bit, that I don't have a slightly better system to listen to my music on. Because that is a priority of mine. Once I get some funds together, and you know, I'll definitely be looking into getting a new turntable. But before I do that, I'll be doing, you know, extensive research to make sure I make the right decision, because with something like a turntable or an amp or speakers, you know, I'd hate to make the wrong decision and spend money on something that actually wasn't, you know, as good as I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I can definitely see myself over the next few months getting a lot bigger on the whole technical aspect and really doing some extensive research into that side of things. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for question 2. Another great question, by the way. Question 3 was show a record you cannot find a genre for. Difficult question. I just literally just watched Sid's response to this thread, and she had real trouble with this question, and so did I, if I'm honest. There's always, in my mind, there's always kind of a subgenre or a genre that fits every single album, or so I thought, until I thought about it a little bit harder, and then, you know, things popped into my mind, and I could have shown a number of records really, but there's only one I really want to show, and I'm being so obvious yet again, but here it is. Blonde on Blonde, an album which I probably showed more than any other in my videos, talked about more than any other, my favourite album of all time. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but yeah, in terms of being genreless, I don't see it as a genreless album, but it's as close as I can get, you know, in my collection to a genreless album. And I think that's just because Dylan has so much going on, you know, on this album. He moves so rapidly from one song to the next. You know, no song is the same as the song before it. Every song offers something completely different, I find, and I think this is Dylan's best example of that. He's released many albums, you know, that seem to do that, but this one seems to fit that better than any. I don't think it's genreless, but I wouldn't put it, you know, obviously wouldn't put it in the folk category, and I also wouldn't say that it's folk rock either. It's you know, kind of a mixture of things. As I say, it's you know, so many things he's got going on here, drawing on so many influences that it's hard to just stick it into one category. So for that reason, I had to pick Blonde on Blonde. Sorry for being so cliche and obvious again, but yeah, any excuse to talk about this album, and I'm on it, I guess. Just great stuff. So yeah, that's the best I've got for question 3. And the final question of the thread was, name a song from an album or artist you do not like, but you do like one song from that artist. And this is quite an easy one for me. I'm picking Oasis. Sorry. Yeah, Oasis is a band that I really did get into for a very small period of time. you know, a couple of years back, where I thought I was really moving my taste on, I guess, from what I was listening to prior to that. You know, I was listening to basically just the pop charts, prior to any kind of Oasis or anything that I was listening to. So Oasis was really the first band that I really became almost obsessed with. Not quite, I was just really, really into them at that time, and it lasted maybe half a year, and I bought quite a few of their albums. My favourite one was What's the Story, Morning Glory, I think it was called, and you know, that album just completely rocked my world. I mean, it was awesome when I finally you know, picked it up and brought it home. I listened to that album so many times, and you know, for that reason, I guess there's still something about it that, you know, brings back some memories. But since that, I've really kind of gone off Oasis completely. I'm just not listening to their music now. It just doesn't give me the same sensation that it did back then, and yeah, just I couldn't even sit through a whole Oasis album, you know, right now. It wouldn't seem right, and I don't think I'd enjoy it either. So for that reason, I had to pick Oasis, and the one song that I still do enjoy by them is Don't Look Back in Anger. That song always struck a chord with me, and it still does today. I don't know who's singing like lead vocals on that song. I don't know if it's Noel or Liam, but yeah, whoever it is, then they did a great job on that track. You know, it's still, I consider it to be a great track today, and also Wonderwall would be another one, but I think if I had to pick between Don't Look Back and Wonderwall, I'd probably pick Don't Look Back. Don't Look Back in Anger. There's a few from that period. I mean, like Little by Little was another one that I became literally obsessed with. I used to play that probably like 5 times a day, you know, when I was like a 14, 15-year-old. But yeah, I like, you know, a small selection of those songs. You know, I still do enjoy today, but just really not a big fan of Oasis whatsoever right now. And I really can't stand like Liam's attitude to things. Like some of the comments and things he comes out with are just ludicrous and completely just inappropriate most of the time. So yeah, that's pretty much my answer. Oasis, and that's the thread. Great questions, and I just want to echo what everybody seems to be saying in the vinyl community. I really enjoy your videos. dvdude30, I've been a big fan for a long time, and just keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing, and I look forward to another thread pretty soon. But yeah, thanks for doing it, and thanks for watching, guys. Keep the vinyl spinning.